Hello, lovelies. Some things have been happening to challenge my nuanced and constantly evolving take on AI art. And my position on AI art is constantly being altered because when some tech bro evangelist is going off in this ear, I tend to lean the other way. And when some Luddite reactionary is going off in this ear, I tend to lean the other way. I think we will eventually get to some sort of hybridized work, nuanced equilibrium position where we understand what's acceptable and what isn't, what's legal and what isn't, what needs to be disclosed and what doesn't, what tools are okay and ethical and which aren't. We will eventually come to a position on all of this, just as we did with Photoshop or whatever else you care to think of. And I think AI, large language models, not really AI, I think it's reaching some of its limitations and beginning to contract slightly, which of course is just in time for the Labour government here to go, hey, come here and build your data centres. Government always moves much slower than technology, needless to say. And AI art can do a whole bunch of positive things that don't tend to get the press, or AI writing or AI music or whatever else. It can enable people with low incomes or other issues, social anxiety, avoidant personalities, mental health issues. It can enable them to create material and to get a little bit of financial independence that they might not otherwise have. Not unlike how sex work attracts a lot of people with disabilities and other issues and allows them to get by, which is something people don't seem to like to address. AI-assisted writing software can enable people with learning disabilities, severe dyslexia, or other mental issues to be able to write and edit books. Some people have mental issues that cause them to be extremely disorganized, and AI can be very useful in reorganizing your material that you've actually written in a fashion that makes more sense and has better flow. You know, I've seen this in people that I work with or who I've seen working in this space. I'm sure we can all think of people who would benefit in either instance. AI art can also allow for more niche products that otherwise wouldn't be able to sell to, or turn a profit at least, to look better, be somewhat edited. Helps them generate enough profit margin to be fiscally viable, where hiring people to do various things might not be fiscally viable. Now you might say if it's not viable in terms of money, then maybe it shouldn't exist, but I don't think money should be the sole determiner of value. But the fact is, people are more likely to pick something up if it has art, if it has been edited, if it has been better written and better presented, even if it's AI. None of which is to say that there aren't some problems with AI, and most of these seem to center around exploitation and what you might call digital dropshipping. I'm sure, like me, you have been bombarded with and annoyed by a lot of get-rich scheme videos that come at you through Facebook or YouTube, where we are now, saying, oh, if you want to make money these days, it's not physical products, you should be doing digital products. And then they segue into using AI to produce Kindle books and audiobooks at a massive rapid pace, suggesting that you target very particular questions or very particular niches and you go after that full bore. The market is flooded with AI written cookbooks, for example, many of which are entirely inedible in the products that they suggest. We also have an issue around mockbusters. Some people using AI generative software will pick an author, an independent author typically, because they have less monetary backing and so on, and will ingest their work, copy the style, use AI to churn out a bunch of poorly written adventure novels or whatever, give themselves a name similar to that author's name, because for obvious reasons you can't copyright your personal name and stop people from using it, and then flood the market, you know, and that drowns the original author's work far more rapidly than they can produce work, and sort of latches on like a lamprey to whatever promotion or goodwill they've built up and kind of siphons it off. That's a problem. Now, I hadn't really seen this in the RPG space until recently. And the titles that I've been showing here, they're all by the same company or the same person behind two different company names, which is a bit of a red flag as well. Under Original Frontiers, there are over 500 similar titles just since 2022. In their earlier work, they were using poser art, which some people can do great things with poser or other similar programs. But there was a whole genre of bad poser art, bad poser stock art, and so on for a while. So it seems like they've always taken the path of least resistance, the path of least effort. And besides the 500 products under Original Frontiers, there are also another 200 very similar looking titles under Frontier Gaming since 2019. A lot are very small, a lot of others are overpriced at like $10 for 20 pages, for example. A lot of it is very cheap, to the point where you might say, 50 cents, I'll take a punt, see if it's any good. The reviews are often suspicious. A lot of the products are reviewed, which surprises me in the first place, and a lot of them have 5-star reviews, which surprises me a great deal, because the writing also very much feels AI generated. The art, I think we can safely say, is AI generated. The text, can't say for certain, but it does seem like it. And when I say AI generated, I mean sometimes people produce material and then they sculpt it, tweak it, change it, do stuff to it, re-edit it, reorganize it. That stuff doesn't make me big mad, but just churning out the raw output without properly checking it, as I suspect is happening here but can't prove, that does make me big mad. Now, I'm not against sexualized content either, but I think in this case it is another indicator that this is a low effort content mill sort of thing going on here. But the real problem, and I'm not saying this should be censored or removed, but the real problem is this is people abusing these tools that can help people, that can make things more viable, in a way that will understandably and justifiably turn people against the very idea of AI in the first place. Something I'm not helping by drawing some attention to it either. But yeah, this is what ruins it for everyone else, even those who have a more nuanced, mature sort of position on the whole thing. This is what ruins it for everybody. But some people just seem to have this psychology where they don't care about that. This is exploitation. This is going after rubes, and it particularly seems to be targeted on the solo gamer market. Honestly, guys, you might as well just tell the AI to create an adventure for you yourselves, because then you won't be spending any money and you won't be channeling it to somebody who certainly seems to be more than a little dishonest in the way that Brave Halfling kind of used to be. Anyway, where's this all going to end? Zang. Hello lovelies, I'm terrible at pimping my stuff, so here I am, pimping my stuff. Please like, subscribe, and most important of all, share, so that people can discover me and all the wonders that I offer.